Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, we're going to go over some of the actions and behaviors that avoidants actually do that show up in them when they have decided they're never going to leave this person, and you will see that. So, all the things that we're going to talk about, it typically shows up in session or it's talked about in my sessions as a therapist when they really have decided that this person is the one and they have committed to them, right? And I think it's very important for you guys to know this because if your partner is doing this, then there is hope for you. And I want to give you guys hope. Most of my channel is based on giving people hope in relationship. It's part of the reason why I am studying what I am studying. It's part of my dissertation to find out how to help people continue to have healthy relationships and marriages. And so I'm very passionate about this. So it's not an intention to mislead anyone. My intention is to make people understand that relationships can look a little bit different, but still there's a lot of love there and it can very well turn into something amazing. And these types of aspects are definitely signs that your partner is probably never going to leave you. And the very first one, which I notice happens a little bit more earlier, is that they have lifestyle changes that tend to coordinate around your life. Maybe you wake up early and maybe they used to not, but now they're waking up more early. Maybe you count your steps. So now they're counting their steps. Maybe you clean your house every Sunday morning. Now they're doing those things. And the reason is you add to their life, you add knowledge to their life, and they begin to feel more connected to you, which is why they implement those things. Sometimes it's subconscious, but eventually it's something you guys can have conversations about as well. They are more influenced by you. The first one is that they become more influenced by your life and it's added to their life, okay? The next one is that they are less threatened by discussing future plans together, okay? They're less threatened. Maybe at first you mentioned, I would like to go on a vacation. Maybe this was at year one and they got very triggered by it. They said, no, I'm not that type of guy. I'm sorry. If that's the person you want, I'm not that person, right? And avoidants are not just male. It's just an example. And maybe at the 3-year mark, you say, I would like to go on a vacation together. And they say, yeah, I'm open to it, right? Or that's fair. Let me know. And so they are less triggered. They're less threatened. And they're more open. A lot of avoidant individuals, when they say I'm open to it, that typically leans towards yes. And a lot of people think I'm open to it is them just brushing it off. That is not true. A lot of avoidance, especially dismissive avoidance, especially when they're close to you, they don't want to lead you on. That's actually the whole point of why dismissive avoidance in general say, I'm not going to give you what you want. Like they don't want to disappoint you. And they also don't, a lot of them don't lie. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. And you're probably not going to like it, but they still tell you, right? You guys know if you've been with a dismissive avoidant or fearful leaning avoidant, you know they say some very hurtful things. They probably could have cushioned it a little better. But on the flip side, if they tell you I'm open to it, that's true. That's like, leave it at that. There's nothing deeper than that. I'm open to it. That's it, okay? The next one is they invest in ways to make you happy. And this could even be acknowledging that it makes them feel bad when you're sad. And so they want to do that to make you happy. They will find ways to make you happy, things that you asked for. Maybe at first they're a little bit low pressure things, but they always are looking to try and find ways to make you happy. Sometimes it can come across a little bit indirect. So I'm going to give you an example that's more direct, and then I'll talk about the indirect one. If it's direct, you might say, I want to go to the park, and they might say, okay, we can do that. They're doing that to make you happy, but that makes them happy. More indirectly could be like you're saying, I know that you never want to get married. And I'm okay with that. Let's say you're reassuring them. You're letting them know, hey, I'm okay with that. And it's probably because before they told you they never want to get married. But a lot of avoidant individuals, like I mentioned, they say that just to try and be as honest as possible to avoid disappointing you. And they were crashing out probably when they said that originally. But now as the years go on, they're more calm. And so if you say that, they might say, well, I never said never. They probably did. But they didn't realize that that's how it came across. Or they might say, well, don't say never. That's fatalistic. Or that makes me feel like you don't believe in me, right? Because they already don't believe in their self, but there's a part of them that wants to believe that they will do what makes you happy. And that in of itself, even though it's argumentative, even though it sounds negative, it is a sign that they want to make you happy. Because that means whatever that you're saying, the marriage or whatever you were saying, they don't want to do that. There is a part of them that's trying. Their goal is, let me put it this way, their goal is to do that to make you happy. So when you tell them, hey, I know you don't want to get married, and you are reassuring them, and it's good because it does help them, especially in the beginning couple stages of the relationship, the first couple years, that really works. But you might start seeing a change, which is okay because you want to get to this step. It means you guys are even closer. They might say, well, I didn't say I never want to get married. Then you can start rewording it. Okay, that makes sense. I just wanted to let you know that I'm never going to pressure you. And they'll say, okay, then say that. And so you can start rewording and saying that for now on. But what ended up happening is because you, in the beginning, always told them, it's okay, I know you don't want to get married. That's all right. I do, but I understand you don't, and I'm never going to pressure you. That comforted them so much that while you were saying that, and while they were telling you, yeah, I'm never going to get married, there was a part of them, it's true, this happens a lot, where they are working on it, because they want to make you happy and they do feel bad disappointing you and they know they're difficult. And so when you hear them start arguing with you about something that they used to say, this actually is a sign that they are working on it. Give them that encouragement. You're right. I know that you're working on it. I appreciate it. I know you're going to do that for us. And if not, I'll still be happy, right? You still put that cushion. Even if it doesn't happen, which I'm not saying it won't, I will still be happy, but I know you're going to try your best because they want to make you happy. So that's a little bit of I know that may have been a tangent, but I felt like that was very important, okay? At least to some of you guys, I think you'll appreciate it. The next one is they use the term we when discussing future plans. Yes, we can do that. Or I don't mind doing that when we go on our trip. Or yeah, we can do that for Thanksgiving. And so they start realizing it's more important to stay as a unit instead of being separate. Not only because they prefer to be with you more than being autonomous. That's part of it too, but also because they want to let you know, hey, we are, sorry about the camera shake, we are together. We are a couple. We are not going to split up. We're going to do this. I am okay with committing. Don't be afraid. I know I'm difficult. That's why they say we. They're showing you it's okay. You don't need to be afraid. You can trust that I'm not going to leave. It's really important to them because a lot of them don't like saying we or that we're together or we're going to do this in 1 year. They don't like that extra planning. It can be very pressuring. But if they're okay with doing that, it is not just because it's genuine to them. Of course it is, but they're also trying to tell you, I'm not going anywhere. Please believe that. The next one is they introduce you to their family. It's a really important one. And some avoidants, when they're younger, they might do this in the beginning stages of the relationship. If they don't understand their attachment issues and they're feeling that emotional high, especially if they're with an anxious partner. I made a video on that where they get very attached to someone who's very emotionally intelligent, but then later what ends up happening is they pull away and that relationship can be very off and on and uncomfortable. This is really common with younger avoidants or unaware of their attachment issues very strongly, but usually this is happening if they're like a teenager or in their 20s. That's not going to happen if they're older because they understand themselves. So introducing their family, typically it's going to be later in the relationship. If it's in the beginning, it may mean something else. It really depends on the age of your partner or what's going on with them. But typically introducing your family is a very, very good sign, okay? The next one is they tell you they don't plan on going anywhere. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. This one can happen in the beginning of the relationship, especially if they're older, they're more aware of their attachment issues. Like in their late 20s or older. I'm not saying that's old. I'm just giving it comparison to the first example, which I was saying like teenagers might do that and they might be avoidant. They might introduce you to their family because they live with them, or maybe they're still living at home, something like that, right? So that one might not be a big step if they're still living with their family and they're less aware of their attachment issues. But I have seen where avoidant individuals, they're very aware. They could be in their 50s and it's like in the second week, because some avoidants really, once they've been doing this for a while, they really know who they want because they're really picky. If they say, I don't plan on going anywhere, even if it's like the first month, believe them. Because especially if they know their attachment issues, they don't say that to everybody. And if they say it later in the relationship, that's fine too. Believe them. They're not going anywhere. A lot of avoidant individuals do say this. And I think some of y'all even said that your partner says this as well. But this is one of the most common phrases I hear in my office with couples or individuals when they know they're just never going to leave you. They tell you, right? And the very, very last one is they put effort in talking through problems together. Y'all know avoidant individuals do not like talking about problems. They don't like talking through issues. However, if they are sitting there and talking through that problem, even just a little bit, it is a sign that they are never going to leave you. And this is a good thing, because this is an opportunity for you to get something that you're wanting as well. Learning to compromise. Avoidant individuals are not the best at compromising. You guys know that, but this is an opportunity for them to show you that they're willing to give it a shot. Okay. They're willing to hear you out. Okay. So I hope this video was helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.